morning from Uganda. So we are joined today by our 4 KT managers from different countries to talk about vegetable production as a sustainable business for smallholder farmers in Asia and Africa. So we have our host, Joshua Mwanguhya from Uganda, from the Philippines, Girlie Frando, from Cambodia, Chhor Nonin, and from Indonesia, Arga Pradana. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Thank you for joining us in this talk. I would like to first put the question to Miss Gurley on why vegetable production is important in the Philippines.
Well, in the Philippines, through the Department of Agriculture, the national banner programs on rice, corn, high-value crops, livestock, fisheries, and organic agriculture are the priority programs to address, or it aims to address, the food security, poverty alleviation, and sustainable growth to increase farm income and productivity. So in order to support these priority programs, the East West Seed Knowledge Transfer Philippines is aiming to boost the crop diversification initiative by intercropping or integrating vegetables with staple crops and perennial crops like rice, coconut, and coffee.
That's good. So more on the government initiative as well. It's very important to push that drive for farmers to go for vegetable production. So what are some ways to encourage more farmers in the Philippines? You have this push from the government, but how you bring that to the farmers to see and or view or treat vegetable production as a business?
Well, vegetable farming is one of the most profitable farming business, and in order to engage farmer into vegetable farming, we should have this seamless market connectivity. Sustainable market access has a very significant, positive, and robust effect on farm income. Farmers with better access to sustainable market, they tend to expand, they tend to sustain their vegetable production, resulting to farm income augmentation and availability of safe to eat vegetables for the consuming public.
Yes, good point. So government push market creation and also the sustainable production, the trainings maybe, that are very important in the Philippines. I would like to go to Indonesia. What are the opportunities for vegetable markets in Indonesia, Arga?
The first opportunity is about the increasing of population in Indonesia. It's also create demand increment of vegetable consumption. It is the opportunity for farmers to provide the best vegetable crops from their area. And then the second, there is preference changing especially for urban areas. So some people in urban areas prefer to consume healthy vegetables right now. And then the third is about the food industry. So a lot of potential, a lot of food industry that offer the farmers to collaborate with them with the agreement, so farmers can produce the vegetable and supply to the food industry continue, and then they can get the flat price for that agreement. And the next is about the prospect to adopt new technology in agriculture. We are now in agriculture 4.0, so a lot of technology we can adopt to improve the vegetable yield. And the last is about agrotourism. We have a lot of potential of agrotourism in Indonesia. It is the opportunity to diversify the farmers' income, and then farmers also can engage with the consumers directly and in their place, and farmers can promote their vegetables direct to the consumers and also through their social media.
Another question for you is given this many islands in Indonesia, what are the strategies to make vegetable production an attractive business, particularly among the younger generation?
We have more than 15,000 islands in Indonesia, so we also face some challenges through this condition. Sometimes we have limitation access in the agro input in some islands. And also in some remote area, there is not good infrastructure and also the transportation. So farmer, especially young farmers, face difficulty to access the market. So our solution to solve that challenge is first we set strategy, low hanging fruit strategy. So we offer to the farmers to start with easy vegetables to grow. It's like leafy, cucumber, bitter gourd vegetables, so farmers can earn the money less than 2 months through that vegetable farming. And then second, we offer the farmers with home gardening approach. At least we can ensure the vegetable consumption in the household, in the family, through that home gardening approach. And sometimes the farmers which apply home gardening are also able to sell some product of home gardening to the surrounding or to their neighbor. And then we also connect the farmers with the traders, not only local traders but also the traders from other islands. And then the last is about the farming business plan. So we together with the farmers creating the farming business plan, at least we create the crop strategy for 1 year for the farmers.
I like the part of the business plan to encourage young generations also to bring it because they how to compete with other jobs that they may find in the community, and also the community demand based production as well, because you need to focus on the local supply.
Local supply.
Right? Okay. Thank you very much, Arga
You're
from
welcome.
Indonesia. Now we go to to Cambodia. Do you think there are still opportunities for smallholder farmers in Cambodia, given this importation from Thailand, from Vietnam?
Yeah, it is true because many years ago that Cambodia country they import a lot of product from neighboring country such as Vietnam and Thailand. Even Cambodian import more of product from those countries. Our smallholder farmer also can reuse their product from other country because currently our smallholder farmer they gain knowledge on vegetable production, and also they can produce and supply more in Cambodia in the local country. Additional, Cambodia people also prefer the local product rather than import product. Yeah.
Aside from what you said that your local Cambodian people prefers more of the local produced vegetables, what are the other opportunities or competitive against of these farmers in Cambodia?
I am strongly believe that in the future, our smallholder farmer can compete with the import product from neighboring country because of we need we can compete, but we need support from the government, and also we improve some factor that with smallholder farmer too. We need support from the government, such as especially with farm input, because as you know in Cambodia we import a lot. We import a lot of farm input that the smallholder farmer they spend a lot of cost for their production. And for some improvement of smallholder farmer, we need to improve the quality control, because we have to ensure that the local product has the high quality fresh product, and also tasty, and also a good sell life and safe to eat for the consumer. Yes. Another point, we promote the price that let our trader our trader and also retailer, and especially with the end user, and also we do the marketing and build strong branding, and also do promotion advising, and also through social media, and also we establish the partnership with traditional and also international distributor. That have strong network, and also they have more understand about the Cambodian market. And the last point also we build relationship with the distributor, the trader, retailer, and also the hotel, restaurant, to increase supply to the market.
You mentioned from the production ensuring bring us safe vegetables for the community, and also linking that to the other value chains actors, the marketers, and also the consumers especially, and well, stakeholder partnerships with the other government as well. So to really ensure that you have a competitive, gain, or you can compete with this Thailand and Vietnam importation.
Sure.
Joshua, what is the level of sustainability in terms of market development? We are talking a lot of market here. In Uganda, when you focus on one crop, for instance, you have this project on pumpkin.
In Uganda, we've been privileged to spearhead pumpkin production in Africa, and we started the project in 2019. And this was a donation of the World Food Prize from Simon and Growth. So pumpkin production has been considered as a backyard crop in Uganda for many years. People just throw the seeds on the rubbish pit or somewhere in the back, and then it just grows by itself with no agronomic practices. But yet, pumpkin is really a nutritious crop that can be consumed here in Uganda. People consume the leaves, the flowers, the fruit, the seed. Almost everything can be consumed, and the crop is very essential for improving household food security. I think the first step, even before we go to creating a sustainable market for a crop, is to create awareness that it can be a commercial crop. And that is what we are really trying to do, is to change people's perceptions, to change people's mindsets, because that is really one thing that is still affecting us, for people to see pumpkin as a viable commercial vegetable crop, not just as a backyard crop for improving food security. But nevertheless, we've also put into strategies for pumpkin production to continue thriving through the market linkages that my colleagues have been talking about, connecting these producers to the international market. Most of the pumpkin being produced here is taken to our neighboring South Sudan, and the other is exported to Kenya. And also involving other stakeholders, like the processors. I think that is a more sustainable way, because a factory is not going to close tomorrow. And if there is, if the producers know that there is market, then they will continue producing. And then, but also bringing other partners on board, like organizations who are promoting nutrition. I think another way can be also involving the seed producers, so that they are aware that also pumpkin production can be a viable business, and they promote it through their advertising on radio programs and what. So I think that can really catalyze pumpkin production and can create some kind of a sustainable market for it.
You mentioned a lot of these opportunities, but are there risks?
Yeah, obviously, I think there are risks, because one of the risks would be, pumpkin is not a high value crop like the tomatoes, like the onions. So it faces competition from other vegetables. And I think also what I talked about earlier is the barrier. That mind barrier that this has been a backyard crop. Also breaking that poses a risk. But other than that, I don't see it being a problem, because pumpkin production can be an entry point for low-income farmers, because the cost of production for the pumpkin is very low, and I think that can be even an opportunity for the women to engage into pumpkin production, because most of the women here in the African setting don't have enough money to do production. And if pumpkin requires a very low investment, doesn't require a lot of agronomic knowledge, it's a simple crop to grow. So I think it poses more opportunities than risks.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. He said we heard a lot from our KT managers. It's a very good discussion. Thank you very much for this very insightful conversation on how vegetable production is being a business. It brings a sustainable business opportunity for smallholder farmers in Asia and Africa. Thank you. Now that you heard from our KT managers, we also invited our management team from Global Seed Knowledge Transfer. We have here Elijah Mwachanyeni, our head in Africa. Also, Satyo Bama Baskaran, our head in India. And with our director, Stuart Morris, to answer some of our questions regarding our KT activities. Can vegetable production be a sustainable and a dynamic business to develop rural areas' economies in Asia and Africa?
Yes, of course. Vegetable production is a profitable business opportunity for the farmers in Asia. Asia is characterized by smallholder farmers. So these farmers are doing subsistence farming. So you see a lot of farmers are coming away from agriculture because it is not a profitable venture. We are here to showcase them that yes, through vegetables, they can, from the subsistence farming, they can go to profitable vegetable farming. How? If they are producing field crops, the farmer income he gets from 1 acre of paddy, same income he can get from 1,000 square meter of bitter gourd, which is 1/4 of an acre. So this is the value proposition. If the farmers understand that good quality agro inputs, good quality seeds, including that, and also with a good knowledge, latest technologies, the farmers can produce vegetables profitably. Yes.
Thank you very much, Bama. This is very good insights. Is it also the same in Africa, Elijah?
Yes, indeed. Sustainable vegetable production and marketing can be a game changer in Africa. And here is why. When we talk about sustainable vegetable production, we should always talk about the market. There will always be a market for vegetables in Africa for more reasons than one. The first one, the population of Africa currently stands at 1.4 billion, and it is expected to double by the year 2050. The second reason is current rates of consumption of vegetables are less than half of the required level, sometimes down to about 1/3. And campaigns to increase that automatically increase the market as well. And so, because there will always be a market, sustainable vegetable production will always have a role.
You mentioned opportunities, but what are the challenges?
One of the challenges that I see is, for example, access to finance. A lot of agricultural institutions are hesitant to give the smallholder farmer loans, basically because of issues of collateral. That can be a challenge. The other challenge is related to irrigation. There are also challenges in accessing water. And so that can be a challenge. For some communities, access to market might be the issue as well, due maybe to the poor state of the roads and poor post-handling facilities.
Is it also similar in India that you see a lot of these challenges on finance and also the bringing other technologies like the water management issues?
In India, it's slightly different, I could say, because the access to finance, there are a lot of microfinance institutions on the play, and the market, comparing to Africa, the market is developed stage. It's still developing,
but the farmers are producing vegetables. They are traditionally producing vegetables. Sometimes they lack in the latest knowledge technologies. So what we think is, it's like there are microfinance institutions available there, and there are also government extension institutions available there, like Krishi Vigyan Kendras, where we collaborate with them to give that knowledge to the farmers. And also we work with the universities. So I could say that here, yes, challenges are there. Moving the farmers' mindset from subsistence farming to make it a profitable production of vegetables. So that is where East West Seed knowledge transfer plays a major role. And here I want to also quote about the opportunities, because the opportunities are, the population is ever increasing. As he said, in Asia as well, the population are increasing, and there people are going more towards responsible consumption. And also the awareness after COVID, especially people want to eat more vegetables. And in countries, in Asian countries also, the consumption of vegetable as recommended by the World Health Organization is 250 grams, and now we are nowhere near it. We are just half of the consumption. So with the population ever increasing, and we have to feed these whole communities. So to feed these communities, the farmers have a very good opportunity through vegetable production.
Lovely, but I would like to go back to what you mentioned on mindset. Are there any activities that you've already started in, for example, in India, to change that mindset of farmers?
Yes, of course. So when we work with the farmers, we start with the farm economics. So we work with them on making a farm business plan. So what is that we are going to do with that farm in a vegetable production? We select an area. So within that area, we talk with the farmers about what are we going to do with the better quality inputs, what is that we are doing, and what is the farmer needs to invest. We look at different things. One is how much the farmer is willing to invest his money and resource, his time into it. Second is how much risk the farmer want to take. If the farmer is risk averse, we suggest him to go for those kind of vegetables which he doesn't need to risk putting a lot of money into it. So low value crops. So like that, we help him choose. We give him the knowledge to choose which crop he want to goes into and why. And he has to go with the local market requirement, of course. So that is how we change this. Yeah, it takes time. So initially the farmer will be buying some of this, but we have to work with them for a longer time, prove him in the field that yes, this result you can get a very good yield if you adopt good quality seeds and good quality techniques and with the knowledge.
Yeah, good activities. But yeah, I'm now looking at you, Elijah. How easy it is to convince farmers on this side, like to be a business minded, like looking at vegetable production as a business intervention, or as an entrepreneurial how do you call that, opportunity for these farmers, for Africa.
Seeing is believing. While it is good to say, oh, this variety is good or this technology is good, it will make you into a good business. It is better for the farmer to see the variety and technology or techniques in action. So what we use in East-West Seed knowledge transfer, which are demonstrations on farmers' fields, gives the farmers and their neighbors the evidence they need to be convinced that this is actually the way to go.
Yeah.
And can I also say something again on population increase versus food production? We talked about an increase in population, but the land area is not increasing. So we have to increase the productivity and the production. And vegetables offer the best option for increasing productivity. And with what we bring as East-West knowledge transfer, which is quality seeds and capacity building of the smallholder farmer, to equip them with the relevant skills to increase both productivity and production, that is a winner for increasing production of vegetables and mushrooms.
How does knowledge transfer contribute to enhancing local economies and markets through sustainable vegetable production, from your perspective?
Well, vegetable production in rural areas, it sparks a whole chain of opportunities. You can start with the inputs needed that the farmers need to produce the vegetables, the seeds, the agrochemicals, any mulching, trellis netting, etc. As vegetable production increases, there's an increasing demand for better quality inputs, which can, of course, and must, of course, be appropriate inputs. You can't just use any inputs. But that's a fantastic opportunity, not just for main input suppliers in cities and towns, but we see numerous cases where farmers become, let's say, small agri-inputs dealers themselves. They start trading in seed, sometimes other inputs, just serving in the community, their own community. And that for themselves is a fantastic business opportunity. Those inputs then, feeding to the farmers in those communities, enable them to produce better quality vegetables, which is earning them a higher income. And what happens to that income? The income comes back directly into the community. And farmers with that, it's paying for schooling, it's paying for education, for health, it's paying for better food in the family, and it's paying eventually to upscale production, so this increases even further. On the market side, most of the vegetables produced by smallholder farmers are going to wet markets. If it's local wet markets, there's the opportunities for the traders themselves. So it comes from the collectors, taking the vegetables from the communities into the markets. It comes with the traders in the markets, the wholesalers, and down to the retailers. So there's a whole chain of events sparked just by increased productivity.
I love what you mentioned, Stuart, on you're not just helping the lives of smallholder farmers, but you're creating an impact in the whole community. Yeah,
The
very
whole community and the whole sector, which
yes.
stretches out quite wide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that we have these great activities from Katie, what can we do more in the following years?
Well, we've had a lot of progress in the last years. I think we're really proud of the impact that we can bring. But we do need to be cautious that we don't move too fast. We have teams operational on the field level. So we can do intensive training for a number of years in the communities, but eventually those teams need to move to new communities. And what happens when we move out? Do we just leave a vacuum? And in fact, what we see is very, very encouraging. We see continued knowledge transfer in the communities coming from the previously trained farmers, coming through the agri-input dealers trained, coming from other market actors, etc. But there's still gaps there. There's still gaps that we really need to identify and to fill. So what I'd like to see in the coming years is that we invest much more into keeping a really solid foot in those communities. And that would enable us to increase the market connectivity, the access to finance, and the continued access to knowledge. The sector changes, the world changes, and the need for different knowledge also changes. So I think we have a lot to do going forward.
We need innovations, continuous innovations.
Exactly, and also to encourage farmers to really innovate themselves, which is the way forward.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Any additional points there before we end this? A very good conversation.
I think it's like we want to reach out to more communities and support them, but we can't do this alone. Like we need different strategic partnerships to work along with them to develop these communities.
And indeed, there are also opportunities to scale up. In some of the countries we are operating on a small scale, basically because of the resources that we have. So with the right partners, we can really scale up. And not just partners to scale up just capacity building of the farmers, but even on other aspects that we are not specialists in. Issues like nutrition or some of the social topics. We need partners who are specialists in those areas.
Can you imagine if there was an organisation pulling the demand of consumers? This is out of our scope of operation. We're doing consumer awareness programs, really intensive, to try to get consumers to eat more. Then you create more demand, more opportunities for the farmers. And as Barma said earlier, there's a huge gap in the consumption rates at the moment. All this is possible with other partners.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Well,
Thank
thanks
you,
a lot.
Bama. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you,
Thank you.
Elijah.
Thanks.